want to make an impact. And that one guy will have to be in charge, Andrew Brace. Big evening for him.
Former Belgian international from the old crest RFC. Great way to kick off here at Ashton Gate. 9,000 we're being told crammed in here. A weekend of one of the richest rivalries in sport. England against Wales to get us underway, the under-20s. Perfect way to get us underway. Wales have been saying this week, yes, of course, it's 3 from 3. The triple crown is looming, but it's an occasion they must enjoy. For England, well, there's plenty of work to do from the last outing against Ireland.
Well, talking to Mark Taylor just before the game, and it's been trying to keep a lid on it from the Welsh perspective. You know, 11 years without that massive trophy. It's been a long time waiting, but it's just trying to calm the situation down. They've been magnificent, Wales, throughout this campaign. Like I said, led by Tom Phillips in the back row, but everyone's played their part. When players have been out, McBride's come in at 10 when Jones has been away with the Scarlets, but England dominating well, you know, early on. That's what you're going to do. Get your restarts, get your set plays right, and look where they are now. One mistake from Wales into the corner, and now I think we may see a catch and drive.
It was Andrew Kitchener who took the restart, and there's Hugh Taylor, outstanding. England's internal man of the match against Ireland. We've got some line-out options with George Knott, who is in the second row, in the back row tonight. Will Stewart.
Wait on.
Singleton.
Tackle move.
4 tries, of course, against Italy. He really had a chance if Jack Walker had been fit. He's a young hooker, but Singleton only played a bit part, really. But he has been a man to watch, and Wales need to watch their penalty count.
That's two from 2 in a sense, isn't it? First 2 penalties given, and it's just Andrew Brace is making his mark. He's not allowing anybody to get over top of the ball. He wants a fast game. Hugh Taylor there. No, sorry, Hugh Taylor, apologise. Lewis Hughes, the culprit, going off his feet, and this is a given 3 for Matthew Prothero. A lot of talk about him in Wales and in England, but my word, on the gain line with a ball in hand, he is something special.
2 conversions, a penalty and a drop goal against Ireland. He stepped up in that last game against Ireland as the goal kicker, and is a real confidence booster to start this one. It's a confidence booster for England as a team. Started the bright air in the opening couple of minutes. It's England 3, Wales 0.
Again, that kickoff is a little bit lame in a sense. He's not getting up high. It's going straight directly into the 22, and it's an easy for Green to get out.
Stan Jones screwing the kicking. The Wales under 20 side. Even Morgan Williams wants to get things going.
And that's a massive gain, isn't it? You can just see from a bit of a flappy kick. It's easy for England to take. I just love a bit old-fashioned in me, but give your forwards a target. I know the forwards are straight across the field, so you split your kick-off. But if you're going to do it, kick it long. Don't give England an easy chance just to catch the ball, regroup, and it was a great box kick from Green.
Singleton to Kitchener. Brother of Graham, there's another brother. Charlie Thacker. Malins took his eye off the ball. Millard came through, hacks downfield. Where's this one, Bobbly? Prothero is back there. Mistake down the England back line. Almost gave an opportunity for Wales.
Well, it was a great press by Wales. You can see the blitz defence in a sense, and then Prothero, normally very good under pressure, he just whipped that across. Malins couldn't take it, and look the result. As England put early pressure on, it's time for Wales to do the same now. Can they get the line out right?
He was the man from Carmarthen.
Backwards.
Well, backwards says the referee, Morgan Williams. Wales' first opportunity. Sean Evans. Kidding. The back row is getting themselves involved. Then it's the front rows, and it's Hughes. Pick and go again from Wales. And it's been given. They got over that line. Referee was in a good place. And it's Sean Evans. What a start from them. First opportunity. The line-out wasn't great, but from then on it was pick and go.
But Morgan Williams, the live wire at 9, heavily strapped. One of his knees, it didn't really show there. Look at this, his left leg, he's gone through the gap. Great presentation, and then it's just a matter of holding your depth and making the right decision. It was Evans initially taking the bust, and then his partner in crime, Keedy, taking on. I've talked about this back row, the unholy trinity. What a balance, what a combination, what a score.
Get the conversion as well.
Well, again, that's what you want. You want a response straight away. England initially on the front foot, a bit of pressure, a nice penalty. And Evans, he's everywhere. These three do a lot of work carrying and tackling. And that's a little bit placid, you've got to say, from an England defence. They didn't get low. They didn't get down on their knees, and Evans was allowed just to use his leg power. Straight away, Prothero, just a little mistake with his whippy pass, and now bad kick. There you go.
Left.
The referee's given it.
Yeah.
I don't think Evans thinks he's over the line.
And balance, okay?
I've got to say, as England were denied a try from Chick against Ireland, I'm sorry, some atrocious refereeing then. That's not a try. But he made the decision. He didn't go upstairs. It is given the try. You know, obviously apologise for that, but from that angle, it seems that it wasn't.
First scrum. Wales have gone down. Referee wants to reset. England have been working with Alex Sierra.
Thank you.
Who's also been working with the under-18s, of course, a role that Ian Pearce was the assistant coach on the 20s and then head coach before moving to the senior setup. He's been working with these players. Not bad now to learn off the British and Irish line.
There he is, the big bear. Yeah, one of the biggest water boys I've seen, but he's taken a year off, a sabbatical, which is very understandable with injuries that he's had. It's the right thing to do. He'll come back hopefully fresher and more hungry than he's ever been. But he's got his, you know, he's giving it. Yeah, he's giving advice, which is what you need at this age for someone who's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. And he won't be too happy on that one. Boyce doesn't agree, but again, as I always say, Johnny, no front row forward agrees with the referee's decision when it goes against them.
Wojciechowski and Hughes and Lewis. Their work cut out tonight. Dylan Lewis is tie head from the Cardiff Blues, already played 4 times in the Pro, 12 for the Blues. And then his debut back in October against Munster. Just tipping 19 stone, the 20-year-old.
Keep them on you, please.
Big unit, isn't he?
Ever present through last year's Six Nations.
5, tell them, please.
And in the
back 10 then, guys.
Junior World Championship when he played against England.
10.
Again, similar position now. This time they don't get away with it, Wales.
Sloppy line out again. It's the man against Lewis in that front row, Boyce, who tidies up at the back of the line out for England, and they go downfield. So Rhian Williams, and he takes his own kick. Bit of work from the fullback.
Ball is there.
Phillips, the skipper, up over that halfway line. And Wales look inside for Lewis. Good consistency throughout this Six Nations. Those players returning from last year's setup for Wales have been resilient. Their victory so far. And it's Phipps who takes it again. He's everywhere at the moment, the blind side. As Wales sweep round the corner around this right-hand side.
Hold.
Watkin.
Tackle. Hold.
Big, powerful inside centre. There's a great tackle from Thorley. Really good net gain from England. Nice kick from Prothero. Williams had to play it, and the chase was really good from the England winger.
Well, it was a cute kick, wasn't it? Because again, it could have gone across the line. He doesn't. He goes for depth, but Ian Williams reads it superbly well. It should have just been another 10 metres longer. It would have been a great kick. That means Williams have been going back to fetch the ball rather than run onto it. But Thornley, yeah, you don't have to look good scoring the tries. You've got to do your defensive work as well. But
No.
a full-blooded international expected, no least.
Step.
It's full-blooded, isn't it? 12 minutes here.
It's England against Wales.
Taylor calls to himself. Max Green. Thacker's a lovely pass from Green, wasn't it? Just invited Thacker onto it. Had to get over that gain line because of it. Prothero, those tight spaces, and Singleton has made the run all the way there to offer himself. Will Stewart.
Keep your feet
He's over
forward,
19 stone. Callum Chipp, the captain, wasn't available on Monday. Eventually came into squad on Tuesday. Prothero is driven backwards, needs the help of his chums now.
It's all about the gain line, isn't it? Gain line is king. Who's going to win that battle?
Not for the faint-hearted at the moment. Malin's good. Pass out to Thacker.
And move, Red.
Goes inside to George Worth. Welcome to under-20s rugby. Not. Oh, he's got some pace. Has George not? Lovely dummy as well.
Through the middle.
England wanted this big pack, wanted some pace there as well. And not provides that at 6. Singleton
Didn't survive it.
breaks.
Forward, Red, forward.
So he slows down as England
Yeah. Forward.
pass the ball forward.
Come on, Red.
So we're just over around the pass slightly, but what a break from George Knott.
Sale Shark is doing well. This was initial. I talked about the gain line, didn't I, Johnny? And that's Thacker. Don't use your 10. Use your big bull in the middle. Straight over there. And again, it's good hands. Beautiful ball. Thornley back inside. And then Knott is off. Normally a second row. But these youngsters don't know what the number on their back means. That's great pace. Back inside, and unfortunately he just slightly runs away from support. He turns around and everyone is coming back on his left-hand side. Beautiful ball from Thornley. You can see Perkins has come over from the right wing to the left hand, and then just goes inside, and it's unfortunate because Malins just overruns him a tad.
Giving it to Perkins, who we know has got electrifying pace.
He thought
would have had a one-on-one.
He would have had a one-on-one possibly, but he thought one or more handoff, he's under the posts. You can see the potential throughout this squad, both for England, both for Wales. These youngsters just are superb.
Born in Llandudno, with English parents, George Knott.
Okay, staying on, guys, yeah?
Sale Shark has been dual registered with Chester
RFC, yes, just down the road from me.
National 2 South. Joe Thomas. Is he gonna... Looking like he's about to come on.
Guys, just take the pressure off until the ball's in.
Sarah helping out Wales with their scrum effort through the age groups. He's a water boy tonight as well. Yeah, sizable water boys tonight.
Keep that space.
Horseman and Sarah.
Yeah. Keep the space,
the big
guys,
fella.
both sides. Coach!
Normally Worcester, of course, from Wales.
Bind!
We're watching with great interest this scrum, which has gone down every single time they set, from my memory. Lewis against Boyce. It's a brilliant battle on this near side, isn't it?
Step away now, 3.
That is huge. for the Welsh. It really is. Dylan Lewis knows it. Just gives a little bit of vocals.
Leave it there, please.
I think that's great refereeing again by Andrew Bright. I know it's competitive, I know it's aggressive, I know there's a different rule in the jungle in the front row, but I think something was said. You don't need to say that. Actually, just look at the referee's arm, tells you where you're going, and you got to say, you know, Lewis Boyce is back, but he's only played 3 games, so he's not going to be up to match fitness, but he's one to watch for the future as far as England are concerned. That wasn't hooked, that's off the knee. And then the push comes on for Wales. That's good. Everybody down as an 8, and there's the penalty. And a few words, obviously.
Hold on the AR, please. Hold on the AR, winger.
It's better from the Welsh lineup.
Brilliant from Wales. Surely showing number 2. Millard. Keelan Giles made that sensational break against France for the Gasson try that won them the game. A bit early to say that in this game, but he's put it on a silver platter for Harry Millard.
Well, you've got to ask questions where the English defence is, but again, the first time tonight the sort of Welsh lineup has functioned, and it's just a simple play. Blindside winger coming in, slip pass from Watkins. There it is. He's straight through the gap. Prothero, I'd like to see it from another angle, but again, good support from the try scorer Millard. Has been very impressive in this campaign, but it's a simple walk-in.
Another man who's played in the Pro 12. Made his debut last Sunday against Glasgow. Jones strikes out really nicely, up to 14. Only just 17 minutes play. Textbook stuff.
Well, John Cullen asking about a performance at the moment. It was just a good decoy, actually, I think, that got him out. Prothero went too early, and a combination of good play, good decoys from a Welsh attacking formation, and bad defence from England. But credit to Wales, you wanted a response after 3 points, and now the penalty counted going with Wales. 2 tries in quick concession, and the game is it's going out of England's hands even this early on.
Plenty to ponder for John Callaghan.
Okay, just a step for me. Guys, on your one.
It's been announced, isn't it? Martin Haag will take over the reins.
Get them quicker to them. Give them a chance.
Of the under-20s, ahead of the World Rugby Junior World Championships in the summer in Manchester. See that on Sky Sports, of course.
I think it's pretty good.
The AJ Bell Stadium, and Manchester City's training ground.
I think it's a good appointment. Martin obviously would work with the RFU before his time at Nottingham. Been a fine servant down there. We were in the car park, we had a chat with him, and congratulating Joe Lyon was there, and he was just delighted that he was going for a free lunch. So it was, you know,
that's what he came for. I mean, great commitment he's shown.
Of course,
incredible commitment. He will relish that tournament starts on the 7th of June. Being in charge of these young Chargers, I mean, he's had scraps financially in terms of the resources he's had at Nottingham. He's done an amazing job up there, and he will bet against him being a huge success in the under-20s pathway as well. Another penalty to Wales.
No, your first action is pulling down and in. I need a better discipline from you now, okay? Otherwise you leave me no option. Number 1, pulling in.
And the Yorkshire Carnegie man is spoken to, not on certain terms. 3rd penalty at scrum time for Wales. They've got the edge there over England. It's just allowing to march upfield, and if they've got another first phase move up their sleeve, like they did for the Millard try,
he's still having words. It's talking about pulling down. He's not on the arm. He's actually just on these. The referee's gone in. tell him that you go. He's been warned. It's a difficult one, but the referee's making a decision. Did you mention, Johnny, the third penalty now? Now that boy needs to get some message on, or try and sort things out with Boyce, because Wales are in charge and they're rumbling again.
Lewis Hughes takes the line out. Keddy.
Ball is out. Ball is out.
Trying to fill that space. Kitchener was in there.
Tackle move.
Wales come again. Presentation is superb. And it's Hughes.
Hold.
He's got clearance as well. Sean Evans.
Great body position from Wales, whether its backs or forwards. It takes some stopping. They get really low and keep the legs going.
Morgan Williams. Now to Dylan Lewis.
Off feet now, off feet.
He's building again, showing great composure. Dan Jones, it's as easy as that. We come into this tournament. New coach at the helm. Plenty of players from last year, but fresh ideas, and at the moment they are sweeping all before them.
Well, they brought momentum into this game from the 3 victories they've had, and it's coming again from that back row, Keeney in particular. But again, it's the ability just to pick up, drive, one out, one out, one out. Just pick and drive, no problem at all. And then when it comes on, they're causing so much damage that England's line speed is no good. They're very, very passive. That's not good from Green. The communication isn't there. Is it Kitchener? No, it's not. It's not inside. And they're just falling off tackles. Credit to Wales. They're keeping this structure. They're getting low to the ground. And again, 3 tries in not so much time. That's an incredible start for the Welsh under-20s.
Kicking well in the British and Irish Cup, over 75% in that tournament, 70% in the Pro 12 for his 39 points. He's a young man with experience. 3rd conversion of the game. No trouble whatsoever.
Just confidently going about his business. There's no problem for him at the moment, because Morgan Williams is getting tremendous service from his forwards. There's no heat being put on the breakdown from, I think, the English forwards. Whether they need to do that, and they need to flood that area, because at the moment it's so easy just picking and driving from Wales. And now Morgan Williams is getting his blocks sorted, and off they go. Oh, but he was outside.
Block was outside and you're taking it back.
Taken in, and that's a
good spot from the round.
Very good.
England will take anything.
Well, yes, England will definitely take anything. They had a pretty good couple of 3 minutes, got a penalty happen. Ever since then, it's been Wales.
Step, please, 3. On your 1.
And you can see Green and they're not combining. And you have to fill that space. You can't let someone come inside you like that. Green Williams was outside. You push people to the outside, push him into touch.
Play on. Hold.
England. It's something here. Kitchener, great offload to Singleton, isn't it? Great. It was early in this game. You feel England have to score next. Green again, further right. There's the skipper. Chick. Taylor and even Wales are in the battle of the breakdown as well. Dylan Lewis is having a storming opening 24 minutes, whether it be scrum timing, the loose carrying, or even turning over ball.
Well, Gethin Jenkins is like an open side flanker, isn't he? And Lewis is doing the same there for Wales. It's just, again, silly, stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
From Wales, just slopping over top of the ball.
5, stay up.
Is it not again? Just lying on top of it. He's not supporting his weight.
Don't close.
Lewis, there you can see he's supporting totally his weight. You got Lewis Hughes in on the act as well.
10, 9.
With the difference how when Wales were in England's 22, the difference of the body positions and the clear out. England just hovering over the ball, and Wales just comes straight over the top.
First arriving.
And the big frame of Dylan Lewis
turn it
steal
over.
the ball. Now England have done that. Great. Worth. Here's Will Stewart. From the right. It's very elusive. Maylets. U-20's squirts out. England just not looking after the ball, and Williams fly hacks downfield. Thorley. It's done well. Welsh line of defence. Right across the field. Broderick, and he took out a forward. Lovely break for the Perkins try against Ireland.
Well, Perkins was asking him to just nibble the ball through with his foot then. Just like that. But not as hard. There was space in there, Perkins could see it, and unfortunately Prothero hadn't heard him. He could see that there was space, but again, it's fast and fractious and furious out there, isn't it? That's just brilliant. Get in there.
Okay.
Thorley takes the ball up. I'll tell you what, I'll size up a couple of big forwards. And that's what England need to do now. They actually need to do a bit what Wales are doing. Rolling the sleeves up and going, just picking and driving, getting some momentum, clearing the ball out, being precise.
Yeah,
what a start from Wales. Not in their wildest dreams. Again, talking to Mark Taylor, just trying to keep a lid on it. You know, the expectation is there. They know that it was a good squad coming here with the experience. And, you know, it's just great. There's Mark. He can't believe this. He won't believe this start. But in a sense, you can do, because they're a good unit, Wales.
Remember 2 years ago now, England scored 67
I can remember at Newcastle. And he was shell-shocked, white, ashen-faced.
Last time they met was in the summer.
Hold, right, hold.
30 points to 16, England won. It's composed stuff by Dan Jones, wasn't it? Behind his own try line. But every part of the game for Wales has been clicking. U-Taylor. Tried to build again. Stewart is high. And Jones has got in there. They called them all, the referee, and Wales will win the ball again. Will Stewart just too high in the contact.
I'm careful with that, okay?
They're winning the collisions. They're smarter. They're streetwise at the moment. Again, England are doing all
it's a maul though. Don't use your feet.
that they can at the moment, but you're right, he got hit very well, but it's all due to the line speed of Wales, and then it's on the ball. It's Jones, look at that, all his experience again. Playing the Pro 12 with Scarlets, made his debut in the LV. I think that's coming back next year, which is a good thing. And just unfortunately too high, and the old choke tackle has just put pay to another England attack.
Very lucky now. We can have a quick word with the Wales under-20 manager, Mark Taylor. Well, last time we saw you a couple of years ago up at Kingston Park. We won't remind you of that game. You're in slightly better mood now, I would have thought. Reasonable start from your boys.
Yeah, obviously we're delighted to get the scores on the board, but obviously we can appreciate how dangerous England are as well. So we're just going to make sure that we keep our minds focused on the next task in hand and not think that we can just roll them over and play silly games inside our own half. So as I said, it's just keeping the focus and playing the right times.
We said today before the game, you were chatting, you're just keeping a lid on the excitement ahead of this game. You seem to have got that mental preparation for this game absolutely spot on.
Yeah, it's been obviously a big area that we've focused on. It is a big game for our boys. Obviously, it is potentially, we get beyond this, the championship, etc. there. But as I said, we have purely looked at this as a one-off game against a very good English team. So as I said, it's still early days, and we know there's a lot of work to do.
Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. We'll let you get back to the game. Williams with the feed. And they have to be happy.
Hold, captain.
I can't think of an area there. Probably a couple of line-outs that haven't gone quite their way, but every department of the game working so well. Maylets. So I say that they missed a tackle. Thorley.
Well, yeah, the line-out, I mean, it didn't go well against Scotland. I think they lost 4 there, they lost 1 against France, so they fixed things. But just going back to that scrum, and England got the ball at the moment, it's just so secure. So the likes of, Williams and Jones have time just to exit and do things right. You've got a strong scrum. you've got a strong game. I know we've seen it so many times, haven't we? If you start creaking, the number 8 can't get down, the scrum half is around putting pressure on, and then that communication, the umbilical cord from 9 to 10 breaks down. Wales have got it, they know exactly. Mark Taylor knows it, all the coaches, you know, Chris Horseman knows it, Jason Strange, look at that. Straight backs, beautiful, no one going down. And from a forwards point of view, which I sort of semi-was, that's a thing of beauty. Look at Williams, straight out, and then you get oodles of time. Absolutely, it's a simple game, isn't it? As long as you...
Top of spirit level down there, Gary.
As long as you big boys bend your back a bit and say straight, it's easy.
Geraint Lewis, the forwards coach, Richard Hodges, the defence coach, doing their jobs well. Headed up by Jason Strange.
And again, another super scrum. You can do loads from this.
Take him back.
Probably go.
No, but England have got to chase the game. England have got to come and show us what you do. Like Malin's coming up now, they know they've got to run out, so they're going to run straight into the back row turnover.
And Watkin, great rip from him. Miller, Giles, chip and chase for himself. Oh, now what's happened there? Reaction from the players, and the initial reaction was the initial wave of players have gone right past him, missing the ball. Keelan Giles has just waited, showed patience.
He better go upstairs for this one.
Seamus, can you hear me?
I have you, Bracey.
Is there any reason why I can't award the try, Seamus?
Stand by.
Seamus Flannery, any reason he cannot award the try? The question from Andrew
We
Grace.
will see out. Giles got one against Scotland. Has he got one against England? That's not grounded. That is a try.
Cheers, mate.
Bracey, you have a decision?
Yes, sir.
You may award the try.
Thanks, Seamus.
Didn't take long, and rightly so. This 18-year-old, one of 4 18-year-olds in this 23. Try score against Scotland, now try scorer against England. Came from the mistake, of course.
Has Wales's party started already? It's a great rip. Super rip, and then this guy has got tremendous... I was talking to Peely before. He said, watch out for this. I said, no, I've already seen him. Just did the right thing as well. Opportunism pays off. Then he had to chip it through, otherwise he'd be tackled. And then he just used his wheels, and mistakes happen. Bounce of the ball, and he's the recipient of the 4th Welsh try. My word.
The bonus... Oh, no.
Don't you start. I've been on about it. I think Dan Carter's got the headlines, hasn't he? Thinking the bonus point should be in the Six Nations. It should have been from 5-6 years ago.
What is it? Is 2 points for a conversion. That's exactly what Jones has added on. Faultless from the boot, and Jason Strange side pretty much faultless from the second minute. 28 points to 3.
England have got to play, obviously. They've got to. The trouble is, you just can't.
Prothero saw it for Thorley. Ball just didn't sit for him. Gasson comes across. Really good work from the Welsh right winger to come all the way across. Realised the danger.
Advantage. Slowing it down, Red.
Advantage coming to England. Prothero knew that.
Leave it.
Well, they have to go into
pass to Sam Smith.
Have to go into the corner.
Release.
3 points is going to be absolutely no good. It doesn't really matter. Just getting back 3 points on the scoreboard, making it up to 6th. They have to score a try, possibly 2 before half-time. Wales have blitzed them, but again, this guy made a scintillating break against Ireland to put Perkins through, and that is lovely. If that ball just kicks on, that's a try from Thorley. As it is, they get a penalty. They go into the corner. They haven't lost the line out as yet. They need this to function well, and they need to get over the whitewash.
Haven't lost the line out so far in this game. Boy, do they need this one. Kitchener.
Say more.
First job done.
And they set them all. It's rumbling. It's rumbling. Try is given. England do come back. They needed it. Boy, did they need it. Sam Smith, like Sean Evans before, for Wales, and England get a try back.
Well, that's the way England are going to get back into this game, obviously, through scoring 5 points, possibly 7. Another good line out. It's a good take. Good slip ball to the back. 2 pods, one at the front, one at the back, then it goes in the power game. And then it's all about your leg pump, body positions. And as Wales have shunted England back a little bit. Does he drop that? Well, actually, I think that's one that England deserves if he has. It's been given as Sean Evans' try was given, so that's about even Stevens. So we won't say any more.
Hand round the back of the ball, did it completely drop?
Again, it's been given, so we can people can talk about this in bars or in at home. Doesn't matter, it's on the board, and England eventually on the board with a try. Wales 4 tries, England just got 1. I think he has dropped it, but it's given. But I don't think Sean Evans' try, the initially first try for Wales, was over the line. That was given. He didn't go to the TMO. I don't think we'll worry about that. It's evened each other's out, and we've got some game on here. Wales totally in charge, but England showing their potential, and they have got the potential to come back.
George Worth makes it the 25th player to make his under-20 debut this Six Nations. Moon Waters can make it 26 and 27. We're talking about these cycles that the under-20s go through now. Wales on that second-year cycle, being of experience, but 10 returning from last year, and you can see the difference in the two sides.
It just happens where you are. A lot of these under-18s under Pete Walton, but again, they make mistakes, and you want to see them develop. And a lot of these guys, you know, Scottish guys as well, have to go back and pay for their provinces, so they don't have them for the full, you know, full sort of 5 games.
Gasson, well, space in the end. George Gasson. His debut against France. Played well, didn't he, that winning try that he scored?
Tremendous. Do you think we'll get this many tries in the first half tomorrow afternoon?
No.
Twickenham?
I think. On the line's good, guys.
I mean,
do you want time to think about that?
Numbers, guys.
No time at all. It's all to all England Wales, isn't it? Of course, after the men,
Tell
we
them, please.
had the women's
The
game
ladies,
for you
I know.
from the Twickenham Stoop.
And that's worth a watch. Anyone who hasn't seen him up live, it's a fantastic occasion.
Yeah, Welsh women very much like the under-20s on the up and up. Women 3 from 3 as well.
Red ball.
Again, we've talked about it, and it happens. There's so many people that go through to get top international honours come through the under-20s, and that happening with Wales, happening with Scotland. It's a great sort of pathway to represent. Sorry, Johnny, representing your country at the top level, and then obviously onto the British and Irish Lions.
I'm just going to say Warburton, Halfpenny, and John the Davison 2008 vintage. Tipper at 2009. Falatau 2010, Samson Lee 2012, Tyler Morgan just 2014.
I rest my case. Indeed, but it is. It's great.
Prothero step, good pick up as well. George Worth, Singleton. Passes always going
forward 12.
behind him. At Prothero is lively, isn't he? He's got magical feet.
I think Cassan's in problems down here, the Wales right wing, as Prothero makes the break, and he's just keeping the ball over. And this is the way England have to play. They've got to go for it. They've got to go for the 50-50 or even the 60-40 pass. Cassan looks bad. He looks a hamstring. Scored a try, didn't he, against France? That crucial try against France at the end when they came back. And there's Prothero's 25 metres, 5 carries.
I'm not sure, guys.
Yeah, the first win over France since 2013. Gasson try. And Billy McBride added some points, didn't he? 3 penalties and a conversion.
Somebody coming on, guys?
See, they're like thoroughbreds wingers, aren't they? They know straight away. He went down. Held his hamstring.
That's why I had to work before that.
There you go.
Joe Thomas comes on for him.
Are we good, guys?
Shane his night is over.
Time back on.
Thomas from the Ospreys Academy. I don't think British Irish Cup for the final
Last two
weekend
scrums have been
in
good.
that competition.
Keep the standards, please.
And another one who's in his second sort of season, Johnny, with the under-20s, and that's again a good bloke to bring on. Man, you're not bad to come on England and Wales half-time. 10:28. Yes, you're not misreading that at home. 10:28, 28. He was just coming in from work. What a start from Wales.
Hooker staying up.
Another penalty, and it's Singleton who's been singled out by the Welsh front row. He's popped up 2 or 3 times now.
Number 1 angle and 2 standing up under pressure.
I'm actually amazed at this. Dan Jones is not going for 3 points. They really do fancy this. They're confident in everything they do. Corbisier can't believe it, obviously, but I've got to say, Domachowski, Hughes and Lewis, at the moment, again, it's a collective 8 push, are doing the job. They've got the sign on that English front row. JC
9, say 10.
holds his hands in the air. How many scrums have you been in, JC? Oh, well done, England.
England steer the line out. Thorley takes it, and it's George Knott, one of the only bright moments for England in this half, outside of the Sam Smith try. Williams right underneath us. Foot was in touch with the fullback on this near side.
Got time for one more line out.
We would have seen the empty stand on the side that we're on. Of course, the redevelopment continues here at Ashton Gate. So to Steve Grovett.
Guys, don't keep asking me. It's about just under a minute, I'd say.
Top cheese here at Bristol Sport. Supposed to be ready for August, the start of the football season in the summer. It is an impressive stadium now, and plans to develop the other end as well, down to our left-hand side.
It certainly is. It's set up for Premiership rugby as well, if Bristol are going to make it this year.
Okay. So
We will see. Swing low, rings out in Ashton Gate.
Very half-hearted, isn't it?
A little bit, but again, and it's...
Side has been blown away.
Well, they have, and it's not a half-hearted. Some of the tackling, yes, hasn't been at the top order what you have to have at this level, but that's credit to Wales. I just think their angles and their position has been superb.
Water off, please. Under a minute.
And whether that's another injury. No, Knott's coming back on.
20 points tonight now. What I'm going to say to you, England were up against Ireland just after half-time at Kingston Park 2 weeks ago.
Stay 10, guys.
And they lost.
They did lose. Wales only 18 points up here. It is possible. They've had enough, Wales, and why not? That has been a superb half from Wales. 4 tries in all for Wales and some superb play. 28 points to 10 here at Ashton Gate at half-time in Act 1 between England and Wales. England did score right at the end of the half, and before that it was 4 tries from Wales. This, the best of them, from Harry Millard. Wales in total and utter control. Really impressed in previous tournaments, finished 6th in Italy last summer, 7th the year before. Lost in the final, of course, in 2013, but it's boys against men here at Ashton Gate so far in this game. Round 4. Wales, remember, coming into this game, 3 wins from 3. Unless it's a dramatic turn of performance, and it'll be 4 from 4.
Hold.
And it'll be Italy up next at home in the final round. Haven't won a title for 11 years at this age level. And England finishing on that high with that Sam Smith try, but Wales in that first half now, really impressive stuff as well.
2, what's your entry?
They've gone out and they've actually just done a perfect job. They've taken their chances. I think the boys were talking about, Lewis talked about it, 4 times or so into that 20, they come away with points, and that's all you can ask. Some passive tackling, but I don't think there's I actually don't think there's going to be much passive talking in that English changing room at half-time. We'll see if there is the reaction that the English fans at Ashton Gate want.
Wales in Pool A, the World Rugby Under-20 Championship. Ireland, Georgia and New Zealand. New Zealand, of course, very strong in the competition over the years.
9.
Step from Prothero, he is the kind of man that England need to go around if anything's to happen for England.
You're absolutely right, but you can see the pressure being put on there. Morgan Williams is on him. They know that he is the playmaker. They know he's going to push all the buttons now, and unfortunately they are going to pressurise him. And when you get a bit of pressure on, sometimes you overcook it, and that's what he's done. Wales can canter this half quite easily, keep it tight with the forwards as they're doing it now. Ask the half-backs to kick the ball or break down the blind side.
Sorry, Tom Phillips. This is opportunity for Morgan Williams. Ruben Morgan Williams. Phillips again. Just lead from the front, doesn't he?
Through the middle.
Scrum half again.
Jones is down the fly half for Wales. He looks in a bit of pain. They've already lost a couple.
He's back up now, and
tackle move.
it's a one-man Prothero show at the moment for the men in white. Max Green. Ireland's the big windscreen wiper kick. Nice kick from the fullback, Max Valens. Wales did that very well, didn't they? They played in the right areas now in our first half, and England following suit early in this second half.
Absolutely, but they can just take their opportunities, and that's a great break from Morgan Williams. Just seeing the space really outside. England were just thinking he was going to go in field very, very quick. Like I said, he's heavily strapped on that left leg. That doesn't seem to be impeding him. Unfortunately for Wales, they didn't get many people into that breakdown.
He came into the squad late. He was only a substitute against Ireland, and started ever since. You can see why he's been really impressive. He's only 18.
Well, he should know about it. Ball in Neath boy. Brother Rory, I think, plays for Neath. So, yeah, I'm sure he's been brought up on it since the age of 1, 2, 3.
England will take anything at the moment. Sam Smith, the try scorer, right to the back end of the first 40, doing a good open side job, winning that penalty for England. Callum Chick has a long conversation with Prothero, and they point to the posts.
Really? I know they're only 3 tries behind, but
just in the middle, we're closing. Just make sure they're on you for me, okay?
that's the penalty. But I think I'd have gone into the corner. I'd have just laid my credentials down, say we have got to come, we've got to play catch-up rugby. We got in the corner, we're going to try and squeeze it, as they did at the end of the first half. They scored a try from it.
Similar kind of position. They had a penalty against Ireland, didn't they? They went for the corner.
They went for the corner and they just marched them back 15 metres, and they went for a front peel, which was totally the wrong call. We will see if this is, but there's a bit of pressure on Prothero now. Easy enough kick, but
nice strike, really nice strike from Matthew Prothero. 3 points are clawed back for England.
well, England started the first half with a quick penalty, and then unfortunately it fell apart. So hopefully that's not the sign of things to come from an England point of view, but they can slightly build on something. Again, they're not going to play here and scare them stuff early on in this half. They're just going to get their exits right, try and put a bit of pressure on Wales. But the thing is, they need to put pressure on Wales's breakdown, because they're just getting the ball so quickly and it's easy, and the presentation is superb to the 9, and the 10's got a lot of space. That's where England need to put a bit of heat on and nick a few more balls from the line-out.
Captain, that's not good enough. Quicker, please.
focus at line-out time. That's one area that is working well for England. One of those two lost line-outs. Didn't lose that one. Devin Hughes comes around the front. Adam Beard this time, the Ospreys academy man, who's also played in the Pro 12, and we've spoken about now in the first half, the amount of players that have played in that top level down here, club regional level. It's there, and it's obvious for all to see at the moment as England turn the ball over. Williams, whose position has been spot on all evening, again is in the right place. Wayland's back screen, has he put too much on this one? He has.
Again, that's inexperience from Green. You've just won the ball, but you've had a turnover. Wales have just sort of flied it away a little bit. This is where it's come.
Captain, I take
Probably the first mistake
I take it you want the
Keedy has made, just trying to slip the ball on to Jomaszewski, but then lovely chip over the top, and then Ryan Williams doesn't quite meet it correctly. They get the ball back, and then they should have really built from that and put the ball through the hands. Unfortunately, it was just one contact area and then a kick straight over the dead ball. So come back now. Wales are quite happy with this because they can walk through this half, taking the time down. They don't have to push the accelerator whatsoever.
Didn't show his footballing skills there, did he? The man who used to be in the books at Bradford City Football Club.
Good lad.
Enemy paint years, I know you said that already.
I said that. No, he's a good nine. He's learning the position. He plays the game superbly well. He bosses his forwards, but he'll know that. That was the wrong thing, wrong kick.
He's about development, of course, preparing these players to the next level, the full test arena. Of course, along the way you want to win games, of course. Wales are doing both at the moment. Like England, they bring their players to the under-20s through very quickly indeed.
When the shove came on, you both went up. So let's go again, reset. Clean the boots, let's go
Morgan
again.
and Sampson Lee in the last few years. Sam Davis was a man in that final. Junior World Cup final as it was then, 2013.
Good heights now, keep that, good heights. Pressure off until the ball's in.
13-28.
Croaks!
He's going to nick a penalty now, eh? Go for post, not the corner. Decent into this game. They get the penalty. Wonder if a few words might have been said at half-time.
1 feet too far back.
Jomaszewski penalised the first time they've been penalised at the scrum. Was turning in the loose head. Scrum doctor Morris. Please tell us more.
I'm more concerned they went for the penalty, got 3, and they've decided now to go into the corner.
It's a long way out for Prothero.
It's not, it's very kickable. Right. Game on. England did a score here. Get a conversion, 20 points to 28. Slight different complexion, but they've got to get the ball first.
Crowd making themselves known. Part 1 done, Callum Chick.
And the captain calls it to himself. Well done.
Sam Smith is at the tail. Penalty coming to England again. It squirts out for Max Green. Thorley. Mayland is screaming for it on this right-hand side. Wales making nuisance of themselves and slowing it down. Penalty was coming anyway.
It was coming because Wales deliberately pulled that down. Callum Chick again called it to himself, the captain. And as he was going forward, they just heaved him down, trying to launch Sam Smith off the back. That's a good take. That's what you want.
Rode that initial counter drive, didn't they, from Wales, went round the left-hand side.
Where's this going? Front peel? I don't think so. Probably prove me wrong. No, nothing fancy. I was just going to say the only thing that wasn't fancy was the throw. Or was it? Not straight. Oh. straight down the English line.
Guys, perfect
JC
conditions
knows
to get
it.
our feet in a strong position. Understand?
That's the first time the line-out is going to arrive.
Yeah, and it's the first penalty England won from the last scrum, so let's see what happens here. Can they get an edge on, or was it just one of those things? The ball gets rolled in, the hooker knees it off his knee.
So low.
He's off again.
And away comes Harrison, get it. What a run from the number 8. George Knott, brilliant skill. Knew that ball was going to go out to touch and be a Wales throw. What a piece of skill, not only from the Welsh number 8, but the England blind side.
Slowing down.
England penalty again. This is heating right up again, this game, isn't it? England have another penalty.
We're in for a fantastic last 30 minutes. Whether you're biting your nails from a Welsh supporter's point of view or just on the edge of your seat waiting in England to try and do something. And this time he goes post to get another 3. What a break off the base and a slight pressure. I'm not sure whether England got an advantage there. They're crabbing across, they're going there, but again, this boy, what a future he's got. Plays his rugby at Ebervale. Dragon through and through, look at that, get out the way.
No wonder he's contracted through to 2019. Good work, Lynn Jones.
Kingsley Jones has got his eyes, and that's great skill. You can't quite see that, but not straight kick using his football skills into the hand. It didn't matter. Wales sort of put the fire out a little bit, but they've got a chance of 3 points. England, they creep back up the scoreboard.
Not a regular goal kicker until the Ireland game 2 weeks ago. 3 from 3. Another really good strike from the fly half. He nails it. 16-28.
Great strike. 2 converted tries now. 2 converted tries, so Wales really have to watch themselves. They've still got to get into position. Try and sneak a 3-pointers just to put a bit more leeway between them and don't stop playing. The credit to England, they've come out and they've done the right thing.
6-0 to England in this second half. Wales yet to score. And it's funny how this game just, the pendulum swings from one side to another. Sean Evans. Wales need to compose themselves again here, don't they? It's been all England the last 5 minutes.
But again, they've had a rollicking at half-time, England. The line speed is up, the tackling is better, the commitment is better.
Maylands, tackle by Keelan Giles. Good tackle as well, wasn't it? Good follow-up. Joe's back up from his injury. They're going to lose at the moment, isn't it, Wales? It's been since half-time. Williams signed to the Cardiff Blues for next season, currently up in North Wales at the RGC club. 14:04. Sam Smith evades. Getting a ball in the face, Max Green, nice pass, and then Williams can't take it. Advantage being played. Prothero.
Move. Advantage.
Kenny, rather judo style, flings the number 10 over.
Okay, there's no advantage, knock forward here, scrum, but red. No advantage here.
It was okay. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but he didn't do the neck roll. Didn't do the neck roll, but again, Wales just doing enough because England are chasing it, and again, their precision just letting themselves down.
Yeah, time is off.
Here it is again now. Waited for him sensibly.
It's not great, but again, he hasn't lifted his leg up. He's just actually got him from the... It's one big lad and one small lad, isn't it?
Already?
Well, he's actually pulled his legs up at the horizontal. Looking at it from that angle.
Okay, time off. Okay, just want to check the tackle, Captain.
I think the ref's going to have a look at this. I didn't initially see it as bad as that.
And talk this week, isn't it, about the
Just checking
replays
that.
in slow motion, making it worse. It's a big one against a little one, isn't it?
The problem is with it lands on his head and neck, and that's the bad thing. It's his legs have gone up above the horizontal, but it's not
tackle situation.
But it's not lifted the tackle.
It's a really difficult one,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's physically the size of the two young men involved as well. Prothero, you have to say, he's back on his feet.
Prothero is up. I think probably a yellow card will suffice.
Yeah, red 8 caught the white player, turned him, but didn't lift him above horizontal. But his neck hit the ground, and it was careless.
Okay. So he's turned above the horizontal and he's landed on his neck.
Not above the horizontal.
Not above the horizontal.
He's just turned him, but the player has landed on his neck.
Okay.
And he didn't bring him to ground carefully.
All right, so your recommendation there?
A yellow card.
Yellow card, okay.
Red 8.
Red 8. 8?
Shame fan is come in.
Look, Captain, you haven't turned him above the horizontal, but he's
Foul
still landed
play.
on his back in the shoulder area. Okay, so it's a yellow card. Yeah.
If you're wearing red, you don't agree with it. If you're wearing white, you say it's dangerous. It's a really difficult call for the officials.
Well, it's one of Wales' most influential players here tonight. It's just a roll tackle, really. It's just how it's landed on his neck. It looks really nasty. There's no malice in it as far as he's driven him into the turf. He's just trying to get him off the ball, and he's not the biggest lad, and he's one of the biggest lads then. Anyway, let's move on. Wales now down to 40. England have a chance.
Most important thing is Prothero's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, and he got up straight away. So, got to say,
Leon Brown comes on. Reece Fawcett as well.
Doesn't get any smaller, do they? Leon Brown, my word.
Come back on. Step up, open up.
Again, I thought Wales used the bench very well against France.
Don't close the gap.
Brown on for Dylan Lewis, so 2 new props for Wales. Just beginning to bubble over, isn't it? Crowd enjoying it. Singleton, who came in for England, didn't like the way his second row was put to the ground.
It's just like old times.
Step away. No, I'm going. Step away, guys. Take your players, please. Take your players.
Crowd certainly enjoying it. It's England-Wales. What should we expect anything else?
Collapsing in the line out, didn't get anything else after that.
Just 2 weight coming in and pushing, and then everybody else didn't get any foul play.
Okay, there's nothing, no foul play to report. Okay, Captain. Look, the penalty's against 5 for collapsing in the line out, and I've already spoken to you up there about your penalty and your discipline here. All right, any more, and somebody else follows. Is that clear?
Very clear from the referee.
None of your players get involved off the ball now, is that clear? All right?
To
Don't
both
jeopardise
captains,
your
good
penalties.
refereeing. We'll be honest, we all like to see a little bit of that, but
Well, it just rallies a side. It rattles one and rallies the other one up. I mean, Wales down to 14. That could just be the little bit of a spark. Nothing really happened. It didn't really matter. Wales, that's naughty, really, from Baird. He pulls him down, and then Singleton comes in, and of course it's push, 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 and the captain's got to come in. And all the girls come in at the backs, and oh, was a knee in there. Oh dear. Morgan Williams, we won't have to see that again. He's trying to We won't see that again. He didn't know what he was doing.
Stop.
Anyway,
Voice has gone off. Tom West on.
Hooker, you step to my AR. Red, open up. Open up.
back to the game, Hammond. Come on.
Good shift from
Don't get carried away.
Lewis Boyce will be back for the World Tournament in the summer. But it's still 28-16 to Wales. They have their number 8 in the sin bin, leaking a few penalties. As Sam Smith for England goes through. Fabulous work from Sean Evans. He's been a thorn in the side of England all game, the open side. The Scarlets man.
Scored a try. I think Keddy can buy him a beer later on, because again, just that word everyone uses, the momentum, the game was just about gearing up a gear for England, wasn't it? And they're just getting to that line, and if they'd scored a try then those wobbles may have started to appear. But as ever, a 7, my goodness me, every side should have a good 7. Just does enough. Gets over the ball.
Or 2.
Or 2 out of 3, actually. Until they change the game or change the rules, it's
and then
the
the 7 comes on.
We'll see what happens at Twickenham tomorrow.
Zach Mercer comes on for England.
Yeah.
Who is a 7, the 18-year-old Bath Academy man.
Okay.
Son of Gary Mercer, of course, a former Leeds and Castleford Rugby League teams.
Bradford as well,
head
wasn't
coach at Yorkshire County, wasn't he, for a while?
9.
No Archie White this week. Who is he's carrying a bit of a knock? Dan Jones. Just goes high. Malins knew they were coming in the form of Watkin. He's a solid lump, isn't he, Watkin? Worth. 7 tackle for Owen Watkin, we're hearing. George Perkins, hardly seen in this game. And he won't want to see that again.
No. Just squared off his foot.
Both sides, guys.
Right thing to do, wrong execution. Pace has gone up from England, but they had to, really. There you go. Charles takes him down.
There's Perkins again, the only man now in this England 23. So returning from last year, starting that final against New Zealand. Huge pass out from Prothero. Thorley. The accuracy not there from England. Well, it has been there for Wales, certainly in that first 40 minutes. Prothero. Where's he going now? Back to his forwards.
Well, that's Wales, don't mind seeing that, because there's a big red line across the field, and they'd like him to dance, not on the gain line. If he's dancing 5 metres behind, he's easy to marshal.
Hold.
Better aggression in the tackle from England. Leon Brown, just sheerly because of his huge size, over 19 stones of him, was able to ride those 2 tackles, but he went backwards. Morgan Williams now, the scrum half is going backwards.
Rising player, side entry.
Side entry from England. Sam Smith, that is, just clarifying with the referee, and Wales get the penalty and a chance to draw in the oxygen. I'm going to have a quick word with Lewis Moody in our studio now.
10.
Good evening, Lewis.
I can indeed, I can indeed.
Okay.
England come back in the second half, Lewis. What else do they need to do to claw it all the way back?
Well, I think Dowie's touched point. They need to be more consistent in the red zone, and Wales's red zone. They've played some wonderful rugby. Prothero's making holes. Malin at the back when he gets the ball looks dangerous. So they're creating opportunities. When they get in there, they've just got to absolutely nail it, you know, as Wales did in the first half, because actually Wales have fallen asleep a little bit in this half, and certainly in the first 20 minutes.
How would you do that, Lewis? Would you actually just try and go for position with the forwards, or just get it wide and wonderful?
Mate, do you know what? I think you want to get away from the power game that Wales are dominant in, as we see when they take it forward like that. You know, you want them to play it, use the space. When you get a turnover, let's play. We've seen Prothero kick a little bit too much for my liking. Use his flair, use his ability, and use the speed that we've got out wide as well.
Into the final quarter then.
Same again, get him on you.
Wales with those
Not sure.
4 tries in the first half, still over 3.5 minutes left on their sin bin.
In you come.
Now St Kenny.
Back 10-7.
Want to come back like Wales have done in their opening games.
Use it!
Come back against Ireland to win 35-24. The Pride penalty against Scotland, 18-15 win there. And then it was the battle of the 2 unbeaten sides, wasn't it? 16 points to 10, they beat France. Giles just running across field.
Just eating the time at 3 minutes to go, aren't they, before Keady comes back on? As long as they don't leak any more position or points.
Maylands.
12-12.
And his opposite number.
No, hold for.
Again, positioning for Maylands is very good indeed. Thacker was chopped in half by Jones.
Counter-ruck is good.
Stopped in his tracks, and the Wales counter-ruck. That's Prothero having to do
Happy dog.
a lot of work by himself.
Tackle! Release rate!
Not shy is he of the physical Prothero.
Hold.
See the smallest young man out there. Williams.
Out to 10.
Now the aerial ping pong. Breakdown. Wales are a real nuisance. The dog route. Chasing this one, he's just come on 23. Giles evades that tackle.
Off feet!
Not evade the tackle of Hugh Taylor though.
Take him back.
Back into the 22 for Jones, so doesn't go to touch. Maylands goes high. There's some very tired bodies out there.
Some battered bodies as well. But Wales is quite happy just to keep winning the aerial battle in a sense. England is so desperate to get a foothold somewhere around now, so they're looking for a turnover possibly, but I don't think Wales are going to play anything risky, any risky offloads. They just want to get this ball and get it out.
Dear, good run on the weak shoulder. And it's Hughes, the hooker, goes inside. It's a hand in there from England, Max Green. Hand goes in the pocket from the referee. Think Leicester Exeter. Freddie Burns last weekend, a deliberate hand in the door. Didn't see it.
I didn't, no.
Max
But
Green.
the referee saw that. And as Wales get ready to go back up to 15, England go down to 1-4. It's an instant reaction, but unfortunately, again, it's that old words we used, letter of the law. You can't do it. It was an attack. You can't put your one hand. If you put your one hand out, that type of thing is going to happen. And now Wales will look to close this game off. The Wales sin bin. Keady's got 15, 12, 10 seconds to go. If he is going to come on, I'm sure he will be. I don't think he'll make a sub. He can't wait.
That's good.
And I just, yeah, I think they'll slow things down trying to get to this line out.
7.
Here they come. It's up to full numbers. England down to 14.
Sanowski on as well. Morgan Sanowski, member of the Cardiff Blues Academy.
And straight away, Keady's into the midfield. So they've cut the line out. 5-man line out. Jones, the fly-half, has just said, you stay there, pal.
Adam Beard wins it, 6'8" of him.
What's that, 9?
Just signed a new 3-year contract with the Ospreys, his first professional contract. Hugh Taylor's picked it up for England, though. It's scrappy from Wales.
It was a decoy, yeah. And was it Watkin took it in? No, it's just... Oh, dear.
No scrum half, is it?
Kalanchik, you got to say.
Time off.
He's had to move in, obviously, because Green's off. Yeah, tell you what, it's that most difficult art to learn. Scrum half play.
You would say that.
Of course I'd say that. Hours and hours and hours of passing.
Why did you do that then?
Shut up. But again, it is interesting, you know, what happens. You bring somebody on, normally 10s can go into 9s, and Green just has to look on in probably terror. Oh dear, see, he didn't plant his leg, he didn't go low, not like sitting on the toilet. And Malins had absolutely no chance. This could be game, set and match for Wales here.
Really could.
And England,
Brown on that.
and just remember, as he said, England down to 7. Now they're going to put 7 forwards in. They're one less.
So Morgan Williams been lively all evening round, sniping round the base.
Absolutely. Is someone going to get in there? I can't quite see. 1, 2. I think the forwards, well, if he doesn't go with it there at 8, Keady, I think they'll just want to tighten their arms, tighten their biceps, drive the legs and go for a penalty try. And he's looking.
And he's going. He's only just come back on for the sin bin. Game stand match Wales. From the England era, Wales strike again. Try number 5 to the number 8, who outside of his yellow card has had a super evening.
Been unstoppable. He's had 10 minutes in the bin, okay, it's one of those decisions you can make for yourself. The referee made a yellow card. It's probably right, I don't think there's any malice in it, but that is just absolute power. And again, against Scotland, Keady carried the ball 13 times, tackled 9. Backed it up then against France, 14 carries, 14 tackles. His work rate is phenomenal. I don't know what it is tonight. Even with 10 minutes on the naughty step, what a performance. It's been set by the platform of his front 5, and he's just carried and carried and carried and made it easy for the rest of his troops. That's what 8s do, and that's what very good 8s do.
What a fabulous try.
And he's a very good 8.
You enjoyed that at Empire, wouldn't they? Cubby plays for, along with the Dragons, of course. And he's part of that pack, that 8 that have worked so well. We can have a little word now with the Wales under-20 scrum coach Chris Horseman. Good evening to you, Chris. You must be very, very happy with your 8's work this evening.
Yeah, I mean, they've done pretty well this evening. It's very much a collective effort. We talked this week about just getting the process right and just exerting pressure, and credit to the lads, you know, so far, you know, we've still got 10 odd minutes to go. They've been dealing with that really well. I've been very impressed, particularly the back 5. They've put in a lot of work in that set scrum.
You finished 6th in the World Tournament last summer. What's been the big difference for you in the turnaround of victories? Now it looks like going to be your 4th win out of 4 in this Six Nations.
Let's not say that yet. I think it's just credit to the rest of the coaching staff and the backup staff. You know, Jason Strain's been excellent in terms of leading the programme, but the support we've had throughout the union, you know, allowing us to be full-time age grade coaches, and it's not just the on-field work, it's the off-field stuff we've been doing with the guys. You know, Rich Neal's come in, and you know, Rich Hodges and Geraint Lewis. You know, they're great coaches, but it's credit to the boys.
Will he get back to the game?
Yeah, thanks very much. He's getting a bit nervy now. Cheers.
10 minutes to go, Chris, that's all.
Jones. The dog who just about makes the tackle, isn't he? And it's bobbling around again. Curtis Langdon's come on, Billy Keith as well for England. I think you're all up to date. with the subs. Hopefully you are. Oh, no, Joe Simmons is on as well. Wearing 22.
Same for you.
Replacement fly half, Curtis Langdon, still just 18 years of age, London Irish Academy. I mean, England do have some players missing, of course. Likes of Harry Mallender, Josh Bainbridge, Maunder, Joe Martin, of course. Brody, the London Irish fly half. Sure would have made much difference tonight.
But they'll all be there in June, though, won't they, for the World Cup? I mean, injury permitting.
Certainly will. Lewis Hughes, nice angle inside, as Wales building again. Oh, they just kept at it down. England came back. We expected it after that first half. England had come back at the beginning of the second half, but Wales have ridden that storm and it's still trying to stick to their processes.
But it's been their story, haven't it, in all the games, the first 3 games. They've been behind, and they, you know, against Scotland, under pressure, they got that penalty from, was it McBride in the 79th minute? They didn't, and then Casson gets that try against France. I know France were down to 40 minutes, but no, it's the ability to have the belief inside. Okay, things aren't going wrong, but we know we can fix it. We know we will get chances. We've just got to take 1 or 2 of those chances. And throughout this competition, they have. I mean, they absolutely blitzed England that first half, and I wouldn't say put the game out of reach, because England were always going to come back, but it's just the way they've fixed things now. Even going down to 14 men, the communication is there. It's good, you know, good from Morgan Williams. He just takes the ball in. Clock is our friend, and that's the big thing. It has been their friend since the end of the first half, really, when they blitzed England with 4 tries to 1.
The 5 tries for Wales, just 1 try for England. Tam Smith, some lovely tries as well. The individual stuff for the team stuff. England have the penalty. Can one last assault down towards the Wales half.
And this boy's made a big impact, I think. B with an absolute capital B. 11 carries,
8 minutes,
5 gain line success and 1 try. So I think that's the one that's put it out of sight for England. Never say never. But again, he's been at the heart of everything good that Wales have produced tonight. He's carried the ball back hard. He's been able to launch himself off. He's had tremendous help from all his forwards around him.
This will be the some rugby miracle now. I think only the 2nd loss at home, inverted commas, for England since 2010.
But you, as I said many times, Johnny, you learn from your defeats. You know, you learn, why were we so passive in that first? Well, I'm not absolutely 100%. You know, well, we have to go back and we have to reassess and we have to say it won't happen again. They've got a fantastic home tournament in Manchester in June. Plenty of time to fix it.
Giles. Moment of brilliance against France.
He's a live wire, isn't he?
Isn't he just?
My word.
1 for the now, isn't he? Now
he's certainly 1 for the now.
18 years of age only. Mercer.
I hope that idiot gets taken away.
Welsh player down, and Wales have turned the ball back over. Morgan Williams does a sensible thing. There's still plenty of fight left from Maylands and Thacker. Maylands again. The 1-2 couldn't quite take it. And Dan Jones as well. You can go back there. What a mature, accomplished performance on the Welsh 10 tonight. Now he's kicked when he's supposed. The right time to kick, pass when it's right. He's had a heavy knock. He's been carrying for the last 15 or so minutes.
Well, Dwayne talked about it at the top of the show, didn't he? You know, the experience that these guys gain playing for the provinces, and he's, you know, this guy's had a few injuries, and he's carried an injury actually for the most of the sort of second half, but he's been able to play through it as Thacker charges up the sideline. You know, and all these guys getting experience. There's no substitute for it. Sitting on your backside, playing in an academy is no substitute for proper rugby. And excuse me when I say proper rugby. And it just becomes easier to you. And when you come down to this level, you give your you know, your advice and your, well, you do the deeds by playing. Is McBride comes on now, and he's played his part within this tournament as well.
Yeah, Billy McBride, son of.
Why did he decide to play fly half, I wonder? Not in his dad's position as hooker.
I say we were trying to have a little word with him, but just wondering how proud he was.
I think his mum might have had a word. You were not playing in the front row.
37 caps, Father One, part of the coaching setup, of course. Suspect he'll be whizzing back to Twickenham tonight, watching the sun, playing the backs. That's
Playing
great, slightly.
Indeed. And he's got a lovely left foot on him. Orchestrates very well. He's only got six minutes to do it in, but like you said, it's not bad to come on in an England-Wales game. In a Welsh if you're 35 points to 16 up. England back up to 15, a little too late, but he's a good player.
He was a hero against Scotland, wasn't he, with that penalty? The man of the match against France in his first start for it when I was on the 20. Bench completely emptied for Wales. Bryce Morgan on, Declan Smith, Ethan Phillips.
Red here, the gap is closing. Okay, every time I go to the back, you're closing the gap. The next one's a free kick. So you open up. Let's go, Doug. That's good there.
Wales, at this level, have never won on English soil. Played 11 times before. England have won 9 of them. 1 draw. Wales won 1 last year, but that was at home. It's the first time at this level Wales would have beaten England on English soil. Huge achievement for this Welsh side. Waters. Giles is away again, celebrating. And why wouldn't you? Keelan Giles, the teenager, seals the deal. Up to 40 now, Wales.
Well, I think the party had started before that try, and it's definitely on now. I'm sure the Welsh supporters at Twickenham, around the bars of Richmond, possibly the Sun, enjoying this, and I think this is the proverbial icing on the cake. Giles, he is an absolute live wire. Read the situation even before the pass had gone, and then banishing that result. Was it 2 years at Kingston Park, Johnny, when England smashed Wales to pieces? And you've got to say, they've smashed England to pieces tonight. It will be their Grand Slam. Italy at home will not be strong enough to stop this powerhouse and powerful Welsh performance and team.
Jones. Been absolutely faultless off the boot. Dan Jones. 2 more for him, 2 more for Wales. And it's turning. It's a bit of a stuffing. Mercer that's come off his hand. Langdon can't take that on. It's off his own player. Time for your...
No. We don't need you in there. We don't need you in there. Step. Thank you. Thank you now. Step.
England's frustration just boiling over now. We'll not worry about that, and we will go to your man of the match.
My man of the match, well, I think Dan Jones at 10 has orchestrated thing. Like I said, he's had a bit of an armchair ride for most of the afternoon, or most of the evening, I should say. Morgan Williams, good service. This guy has just been, I mentioned it, a live wire. He's got a great future in front of him, but the guy that has roared like a dragon, all right, he's been on the naughty step for 10 minutes. We'll let him off that. Harrison Keedy is my man of the match. Number 8, unbelievable off the base. Again, you will thank his forwards. You'll buy them all around tonight, but He is just so explosive, as good number 8s do. You need big lads to carry you into the heart of the opposition, and that's exactly what he's done. That's why he's my man of the match.
And he will thank the guys in front of him, the front five, whose work has been tireless tonight. Think of the work of Dylan Lewis and David Hughes, the Wachowski.
There goes my chance of a sponsored BMW, because it's BMW man of the match, isn't it? I apologise.
You said it a couple of times now, anyway.
Tremendous performance. He's hurt his back as well, of him scoring that try, I think. But all around the guys, you've got to say, Adam Beard's done great. Tom Phillips throughout this tournament has been outstanding. The front row, Dylan Lewis, Hughes. You know, it's harsh to pick one guy, because again it's a collective effort, and that's what these Welsh boys have been throughout this competition, coming from behind for the 3 previous games, and they absolutely blitzed England in that first half, and England weren't coming back. We don't want to write people off too early, but again the bench now playing their massive part as they did against France. It's been a collective tremendous performance.
Yeah, Phillips through there. Work from the replacement hooker. Tom Phillips led the side very well. He upped the ante when he's needed to. He's calmed the troops down when he's needed to. Into the final minute. This is a famous victory for Wales over their England counterparts at under 20 level.
And the big red ants now, are they, just moving this ball up the field, because they know this is actually the way they tore England apart a little bit, just the pick and drive, collective. And
sorry, now I was going to say almost full circle. Sean Evans scored a try down to right in the first half from this pick and go. This is how the game is going to end. Very muscular, physical effort from Wales tonight.
Well coached, and they've taken that on, and you know, as soon as they get over the whitewash, the players are going to do it, and this is a good bunch of players. England can't do anything about it, because they're doing the correct thing. They're just producing the ball, and they're just taking that clock down and taking it down, and they're in the red, and it will be for Wales.
And there it is, McBride kicks it off. It is victory over England. Do they ever come sweeter than that for a Welsh team? And it's not just a victory, is it? It's a handsome one. 42 points to 16. Wales have beaten England in this under-20 Six Nations Championship, and totally and utterly deserve the win.
Well, you can see that on the English faces there. Sometimes you take a drubbing and you learn from it. England will learn from this, because it's been a drubbing. It's been a professional performance from Wales. They set out to do a job, and I'm sure they would have taken 3 points at the end of the game. As it is, it's 42 to 16, a walloping. Wales have been outstanding tonight. Dan Jones has kicked them around the field. I thought Morgan Williams outstanding at 9, but again had the possession, had the ball. The front row, second row, but that's my BMW man of the match, Harris and Keady. As I said, the Dragons have roared, and he plays for the Dragons. My word, what a performance. But again, it was a collective performance. The bench have come on, done their job, so the Welsh supporters go off happy, and the England supporters will have to think about what happens at Twickenham tomorrow to maybe put a smile on their face.
First win in England against England in under-20s history. Another step towards that title and the Grand Slam. The future looks really bright for Wales, doesn't it? It's 1-0 to Wales this weekend. 11 years since they won their last title. Can they possibly now dare to dream?
Yeah, that's right, Johnny. 1-0 indeed to Wales in this Big Six Nations weekend. Boy, we've seen some faces and perhaps learned some names that we will get used to in the coming years, both for Wales and for England as well. But tonight certainly belongs to the young Welshmen. They look composed, they look physical, they look well drilled, they look like good rugby players who have collectively created perhaps the best under-20s rugby team in Europe. Still 1 week to play, of course, in the under-20s Six Nations, but you simply cannot argue with that result away from home. 42 points to 16, and as some of the tough talking takes place inside the England camp, they're a proud bunch. It's not been their year so far, but of course they are the host nation in the Under-20 World Championships in a few months' time. So meeting in Wales certainly this Friday evening, and it is the young Welshmen who have made them all so proud. And that man there, boy, he has been a stalwart at the back of the pack. And he is, of course, our man of the match, Harrison Keddie. He's speaking with Johnny Hammond.
He is indeed. Harrison, a win over England, first time on English soil. How good does that feel?
Oh yeah, you know, indescribable almost. You know, the boys were excellent from the first whistle to the last, and just nothing but proud of them in it. You know, from 1 to 23, it was outstanding effort from all of them.
We spoke to Mark Taylor before the game, and he was talking about keeping a lid on the excitement for tonight. You certainly seemed to do that in the first 40. Could have gone any better in that first half for you?
Yeah, you know, I think we're a little disappointed. The try just before half-time, you know, but it was other than that, it was a real good half, you know. We pride ourselves in our defence, and the discipline let us down sometimes, but the attacking stuff was outstanding for that first 20 in particular.
You've been involved in this team for a while now. What's been the difference this season? You're now 4 from 4.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of the boys have come back from last year. I think it's 13 or 14 of us are back, so we've had that extra year's experience. But, you know, also the unity and the bond between the boys is excellent. You know, everyone gets on real well within the squad. And it just makes for performances like that. You know, we got each other's backs, both on and off the pitch.
Italy at home in the next round. Can you now start to talk about Grand Slams?
Yeah, you know, I think it'll be in our back of our minds, but, you know, you don't want to get ahead of yourselves. We're big into keeping our feet grounded, you know. I think that's part of it this next 5-6 days now, just focus on the job at hand with Italy.
Before I give you your bubbles for man of the match, what do you reckon tomorrow? Who's going to win?
Oh, wait, Wales, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic performance tonight. You are man of the match. Many congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers. Ta. Cheers.
Yep, speaks like a seasoned pro, speaks like an international, and in every respect, physically, but also the way he plays his rugby, he looks like an international. Dwayne Peel looking here, nodding in agreement.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent. I know we mentioned him at half-time about his influence in the attack, and he proved that in the second half. I know he had the 10 minutes in the bin, but his break early doors from the scrum and his footwork for the try was excellent. I thought, yeah. You know, his right foot step to get round. I think it might have been the 12 at the time, but as you say, he's a really powerful guy, and he's mature. That's what you think. He plays maturely, you know, and I think he's definitely one to watch for the forthcoming years. As you look on with a back rower's perspective, Lewis, you see things you like, perhaps, that concern you for the future.
Oh, very much so. You know, I think Faletau will be slightly concerned. You know, there's a young man there that's big, he's powerful. You know, Dwayne's mentioned it already. He's maybe that one element of the game, obviously costing his team 10 minutes in the sin bin. You know, because he's so big, and Prothero in that instance is a tiny guy playing against a huge man, so he's not likely to come against that in the Premiership or international matches of the future. But you know, just an all-round class act. Thoroughly enjoyed watching him play. Yeah. I also enjoyed the 2 sevens go at it from both sides today.
Indeed, a really good back row battle, won in the end by Wales. And of course, we can focus on one man, one individual, but this was a collective effort. I think the future looks pretty bright for Wales with this group coming through.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, as you mentioned, I think it's 10 years since they won the championship last, and you know, they've got a bright group coming through here. I think the back row were excellent. I thought Dan Jones controlled well, and Keelan Giles, I think, on the wing looked electric all night. You know, he's definitely one to watch for the future.
Quick just thought before we continue with the Wales chat. A word on England, because so Six Nations this time round for England has slipped away. The defence is gone, and as you say, pressure came in because they've won it multiple times recently. There's still plenty to like about this young side, and there's still plenty to look forward to in the next few months.
Yeah, very much so. You know, they're building to a summer and a home World Cup, but you know, this age group and this level is about development, isn't it? Win or lose, you know, slightly irrelevant really, because it's about developing these young players to make sure they come through and succeed at international level or the Premiership clubs or wherever they go. So there are a number of English players that stood out. I thought Malin at 15 had a really solid performance. Prothero's learning, you know, he's a slight waif of an individual at 10. If you can get a bit more bulk on him. Thacker, I thought, you know, punched a lot of holes in the midfield. And Sam Smith at 7 for England as well. You know, he made a real nuisance of himself, you know, on the back foot a lot of the time as well.
Yeah. Hope they don't take it too hard. They've got one more week, and then of course they'll go back to their respective clubs, and it is a long year for these young men. June is the focus for all of them, with the World Championships being staged in Manchester. But if we speak about young names that we're learning about, you know a little bit about Keelan Giles. We've learned quite a bit about him this evening.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember speaking to Steve Tandy, actually, the Ospreys director of rugby in the summer, and he said, watch out for this guy. He was only 17 at the time, and when we were in the Thames tournament in Cardiff, and he shone that day, and he's exceptional, isn't he? He's got good footwork. I know this is a sort of a run-in for him and shows a bit of his pace, but throughout the game I thought he was a real danger, and not just as a runner. I thought he was very skillful as well, a couple of offloads and backdoor offloads, so I think he's, he looks excellent.
What I love to see about a winger like this guy here, like Giles, is he goes hunting for the ball. He really wants to go find it. You can see the hunger in him, the enjoyment he gets out of carrying the ball as well. He's handing people off, he's strong, he's powerful, he knows he's confident as well.
Yeah,
I really enjoy seeing him play.
So coming off his wing and offering himself and giving himself as an option to his outsides and insides.
Yeah, definitely, and I think he's an all-round rugby player. He's not just gas. I think he's got all-round game. His footwork for the first try, his offload, his passing game. He's definitely he was a class act tonight, to be fair.
What will happen next week and beyond, irrespective, looking beyond the Six Nations? Do you think this kind of opportunity is putting guys' names in lights, and we'll see a little bit more of them maybe at the back end of their club season for their first team?
Yeah, definitely, and I think obviously it's big match situations that get coaches talking, and if the Ospreys watching him play today say, right, he can do it. He can do it at this level. So the more opportunities that comes his way, the better, and that's it really.
Yeah. Well, lots to celebrate from a Welsh perspective this evening. We're sticking around here at Ashton Gate. We're going to talk about some of the aspects of the game this evening and look ahead with the guys to the big game tomorrow. It was Wales night for certain, though, and Harrison Keddy was the man of the match.
Game, set, match, Wales!
From his players this week, he joins us this evening. Many congratulations, first of all. You must be a very proud coach.
Yeah, definitely. The score 42 points away from home against England and 6 tries. Absolutely delighted. Massive credit to the players and the coaches. The players dealt with the pressure, which was a big game for them, a young group of players. But I thought some of the rugby they played, particularly in the first half, was outstanding, and huge credit to them.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been a standout year for Welsh age grade rugby. We were talking about it. It's been a decade, maybe even longer, since the championship at this level was in Wales. What have you brought, Jason? What has been your modus operandi, if you like? Have you had a particular thing you've tried to change about this Welsh setup?
I think our biggest positive and something we've really created is just the unity in the group between players and staff. They're a really tight-knit group on and off the field, and I think that was shown again tonight. The way the commitment they show for each other and togetherness, and that's a big part of having success in rugby, and that's something which is important for us as a group.
Jason, does this show how the Welsh school system is now really starting to get it right? How many of these guys have come through that conveyor belt?
Yeah, I would say 80 or 90% of them come through the 16s, 18s age group. We're fortunate we've had this group of players now for 18 months, and we've really worked on our core skills and to try and play the style of rugby we want to play. We're looking at them as a 3-year cycle, those players. We're probably halfway through that, but yeah, it's exciting times ahead. There's a lot of good players coming through Wales, and we need to maximise their potential.
Harrison Keddy spoke to us, Jason, just as the match finished, as we watched the team celebrate, and well they might. He said he thinks maybe the Grand Slam will be in the back of the mind this week. Is that something that you're worried about? Are you going to try and keep that away from them, or are you going to use that as the motivation in the coming days?
No, I think it'll be the same message. This week we just spoke about improving our performance every week, and that was our main goal for this evening. We want to keep our feet on the ground and just get better every training session every week, and that'll be the same going into the Italy game. Just little improvements, and that's a big focus again for us next week.
Absolutely. Let's assume that none of the players are going to hear this final answer, but do you feel like you're coaching some future internationals? I mean, we feel like we've watched some tonight.
Yeah. There's a lot of work ahead of the players, but we think we've got a special group of players on and off the field there, and they've got one fantastic characteristic, and that's they all work extremely hard, and you've always got a chance when you've got talent and you work hard, and I think they've got a lot of them got special futures.
Absolutely. Well, what about the immediate future? What about tomorrow? Just finally, you feel like you've done your bit. What about the big boys?
Yeah, pretty confident. I think there's a lot of experience in the national squad, and I think they'll go there with a lot of confidence from the World Cup, and I think we'll get a win tomorrow.
Wow, could be Wales weekend. Thanks for your thoughts and many congratulations this evening, Jason. Let's
Thank
hear
you.
now from the losing captain this evening, England's Callum Chick, with Johnny.
Callum, another tough defeat to take. What have you just said to the guys?
Yes, obviously it's a huge disappointment for the lads. The first half just wasn't good enough from us. We knew that. We went into the change rooms and we knew it wasn't good enough. We lost all the physical battles. We weren't playing the right areas and we just weren't clinical enough. In the second half, the boys came out fighting. We gained some momentum in the first 20 minutes, but then just a couple of silly things. Poor game management again in the last 20, and clinicalness just killed us today. Fair due to Wales. They had a great game today, and good luck to them against Italy tomorrow, next week. Sorry.
I was just going to say, how good do you think that Welsh side is?
Yeah, they were fantastic tonight. They really put us under the cosh tonight. They were physical, and they had some really good players playing for them. I thought their number 8 was outstanding tonight.
You've got a home World Cup to come. What positives can you take from this game into your next game and then into the competition in Manchester?
From us, we're a really young team, so we're still learning a lot. We've got a lot of inexperience within the side. So from us, it's just about building. The whole team understands that we could win every game, but we learn a lot more from losing. So from us, we're just going to build again. Big week in training, focusing on the France game. We know they're going to be a tough outfit again, but then looking forward to the World Cup, hopefully really build towards it and develop.
Thanks for your time. Safe home.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Yeah, good mature response. Must be a difficult evening for him. It didn't all go his way personally or his team's way. Speaking with Jason there about how he manages his side's week this week, how does John Callard manage his side's week and the disappointment that inevitably comes?
Well, it's a difficult week now, isn't it? You know, the boys have had a really tough match, but they've been well beaten. You know, they've been beaten by a far better team, and I think they just need to go into the next game, forget about what's happened, and focus on what's ahead and the performance that you've got to put in place to deliver a result at the weekend.
Okay, we can focus on what's ahead. And I know before the match you're almost coming to blows, the two of you, over tomorrow, and with good reason. You both believe with firm conviction in your respective countries, and so maybe it's like a debating class back at school. Dwayne, your turn. You have the floor. You explain to us why you believe so wholeheartedly that Wales are going to come away victorious at Twickenham tomorrow.
I just think we've got a balanced side, you know. I think we've been together for a long time, this group of players. We've been to Twickenham and won before, we won it in the summer. I know England are obviously in transition under Eddie Jones, and they look very good, to be fair. They look well, and I think they look comfortable on the ball. And in terms of Wales' defence prowess, especially against France, I think England would really test us yesterday because their backline looks very comfortable on the ball. But I just fancy we're confident going there. As I say, we've got a balanced group of players and we look strong on paper, so I fancy us.
Yeah, fair enough. Lewis, you have the chance to rebuttal.
Well, you know, it's good that the Welsh are confident. You know, I think they need to be. You know, England coming in such good form. You know, we spoke about some of their key players. You know, Vunipola gives such good go forward. But I think, you know, this side, there's enough of these players in this England side that were involved in that World Cup defeat, that were involved in the Grand Slam defeat a few years back, that they are hungry and ready to take it away from Wales.
You're nodding, but you're not agreeing.
Well, he needs to listen, because I assure you now, England tomorrow will come away with a result. There's no doubt in my mind, and it's for the first time in a while that I've been confident of that.
You've been that confident. Well, you did speak, Dwayne, about if you lined the two teams up, you personally felt that you're confident with the vast majority. If you're going to pick a team as the game goes, you feel that Wales have got world-class players in all the right positions.
Yeah, I think, you know, up front, I think people like Alan Wynne-Jones, the back row as well, you know, has been together for years, and I think, you know, they've proved their worth. I know Vunipola is a massive threat, and he's been playing excellent rugby. You know, he's been fantastic. He's probably been the forward of the championship so far. But as an unit, I think, you know, we're very strong. I think Bigger's kicking is huge as well for us. I think, you know, he hardly misses a kick, and he puts us in the right areas. His aerial threat as well is, you know, obviously Speaker's out after his aerial, his battle in the air is outstanding. So I think, you know, it's going to come to a game. It's going to be not many points in it. I think 2-3 points, but I think his kicking is, you know, is key for us.
Because many people are calling Wales the more settled of the two sides, but England perhaps the most improved. I mean, we go back to the last time the two sides met at Twickenham. We know the result at the Rugby World Cup, but the feeling is that England are a side that have come on a great deal, and they've introduced new players in different positions. Perhaps, and Eddie Jones is maybe just starting to fire in this, the biggest game of his short tenure so far.
Very much the biggest game. I think, you know, England look the more exciting side for me at the moment. You know, Wales have struggled. You know, against Scotland they came good in the end, but you know, certainly against Ireland, they should have finished that game off. They haven't been able to break the game line, to finish off as they have done in years gone by. So for me, England have created a huge number of opportunities. You go to that Ireland game, the first half, how many chances they missed. Really, that should have been a vast score for England against Ireland. So if they get it right at the weekend, I think England could be 10 to 15 points better than Wales, but they have to get it right. You know, they're missing Jamie George, which is a huge blow off the bench.
Off the bench, yeah.
You know, but they have a wealth of experience. You've got guys like Danny Kerr and Ben Youngs now going toe to toe, you know, in that 9 position, which is wonderful. You know, both could be starting, and you've got Itoje that comes into the mix. You know, with a group of far more experienced players than England have had for a while. You know, Stuart Lancaster built a squad, and I think Eddie Jones is benefiting from that now with the ability to include a few younger faces.
Yeah, experience, youth. We've got experience in the coaches' boxes. We've got differing opinions in this studio here. But boys, thank you very much for your thoughts. One thing is for certain, you don't want to miss the action tomorrow afternoon at